Hey everybody, welcome back to Talk With Nia. So let's talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay, I know I don't be going over this at all on the channel, but I'm gonna start because I be watching the girls, okay? And y'all might be watching them too. So let's get into the episode that came on last night. So it starts off with Mia choosing not to host Karen's birthday party due to Karen checking in on Wendy after Mia and Wendy had an argument. And Mia decided to throw a drink on Wendy, and she hit Wendy with her purse at Peter's restaurant in Miami on the girls' trip, okay? Mia was definitely on a power trip this whole time they were in Miami. So much as so she made sure that after that whole fight went down, Wendy was not invited to the boat trip by her. She wasn't invited to the dinners and the lunches, the outings they were doing. She wanted to outcast Wendy, okay? So Wendy wasn't present at the all-white dinner that was supposed to be for Karen's birthday. No surprise to that. Now, Candiace and Ashley discussed the situation with Candiace's husband, Chris. And Ashley said that Chris was, in her DMs. He was trying to be flirty with one of her friends. Also, Chris was on Twitter expressing his frustration about this and says that she's lying. Giselle also said that Chris wanted to get her in her dressing room alone at the reunion last season to talk, and it made her feel uncomfortable. But it came out, Chris was saying that Giselle suggested let's go in the dressing room or in her dressing room or whatever to talk, something like that. So it was nothing crazy that happened. So Candiace is tired of the BS that all these girls are doing for a storyline, and she gets called defensive at dinner. Now, Mia says it's funny that Candiace can get defensive when it comes to people talking about her husband, but she supports Wendy when Wendy was talking about Mia's husband. Now, the editors are on point because they be playing back stuff. Now, they played back the fact that Mia was open about her and her husband possibly having threesomes, and, they be doing some more risque things. So we're like, Mia, where's the lie? Now, Mia's sidekick / friend tried to back Mia up and call Candiace defensive, but Candiace shut her down and says, I'm not about to get bombarded by Mia's representative, okay? What's your name again? Who are you? All right, so she shut her on down because that girl had no idea that Candiace can read and she will shut a bitch down. Now, Candiace decides to invite Wendy on the boat trip, and they're with Robyn, Charisse, and Ashley. And Robyn was really annoyed that Candiace wanted to bring Wendy along. But, Candiace said, Wendy is in her hotel by herself in Miami, and she's supposed to be hanging out with the rest of us. Why would I just let her just be by herself? She took time away from her kids and her family. She needs to be invited to these events like Mia is taking it too far, according to her, all right? So Wendy joins the girls on the boat, and Robyn and Charisse don't even respond back when Wendy says hi to everybody. So these girls are really trying to be done with Wendy. And Wendy wasn't even in the wrong. Now, the girls were disappointed that they were on one of those pedal boats instead of a yacht, but we move on. And then Robyn gets asked about her wedding plans with Juan, and she said that they'll be doing something very small, but she didn't want to give much detail because she doesn't want to talk about these things around people who don't really like her. All right, and I'm assuming she's talking about Wendy and Candiace. Now, according to Wendy, her and Robyn were actually real cool. Especially during the pandemic time and before this season, they were real cool. So it's interesting how they fell out, and I'm going to circle back to it when we keep moving on. Now, Candiace felt that it's just cool of the group for them to just cast Wendy out like this. Now, Mia shares that she let her friend that's with her on this trip sleep with her ex-boyfriend to try him out because it was the best that Mia ever had. Okay, and they were talking about this in the car because remember, Mia and Giselle and the other half of the group, they were doing something else while the other girls were on the boat. So Giselle felt that this type of friendship was very strange, and I think we're going to have this storyline between Mia and her friend play out a little more because they kind of get into it and argue with each other. So we shall see. And, we just get a clip in the mid-season trailer of Mia's friend saying that she didn't sleep with Mia's husband. So it's going to go down. Now, moving on, Ashley invites Wendy to dinner because the girls go to dinner that night. And Mia says she doesn't want Wendy to attend. Ashley goes outside of the restaurant and calls Wendy and tells her to come, while the rest of the ladies don't know that she's doing that. So then when Ashley goes back inside, she lets them know that, hey, I told Wendy to come, and they're all well, not everybody, but Mia and Robyn and Giselle are clearly pissed off. And of course, Charisse is playing along with Team Giselle and Robyn. and Mia's friend is going to have her back blindly. So Wendy gets there and she immediately apologizes for her words towards Mia in the argument and how that may have escalated things. But Mia completely disregards her and acts like, she's not even talking to her. Like Mia didn't even apologize to Wendy at all for her actions. So it's really disturbing how this situation is being made to look like Wendy was the aggressor and all of this was Wendy's fault and that Wendy has to apologize, when Wendy was physically hit by a drink that Mia threw, and then Mia hit her with her purse. So Mia should be the one that's very apologetic, but she's not taking any accountability for her physical actions towards Wendy at all. And the rest of the table is acting like Wendy just went up and punched the girl in the face. Wendy didn't even put a hand on her. So it's very, very odd, and it just really isn't cool, honestly. It looks real crazy, okay? Now, Mia did not apologize to Wendy at all. Now, Robyn kind of turns things around and she brings a speaker to the table, sharing Candiace going on live on Instagram, calling all the girls fake and that they're all panhandling their business around town. Okay, so all the girls were shocked because even the people who thought they were cool with Candiace were like, well, you're calling all of us fake, so what is this about? Now, Candiace said that she wasn't talking about Karen, but I was curious. She didn't say that she wasn't talking about Wendy. She didn't say that she wasn't talking about Ashley or anybody else, unless they cut that out. But she wanted to make sure that Karen knew that she wasn't talking about her or whatever. But Ashley decides to make things a little worse and then shares that Candiace said that Karen was seeing other men dating around. And then the editors bring in the clip with Candiace saying that, she was seen around town in restaurants without Ray and other people. Okay, so Karen gets pissed off at Candiace and she storms off, and she was livid that, this was said about her, by Candiace. So Karen says, after all I do in this group, this is what I get, and told them all to shut the F up about her unless they got pictures, names, phone numbers, so the interviews can be had and all that stuff, because she says she's been around this before, okay? Now, the girls, all except Giselle, ends up going to the club after dinner, and they seemed to get drunk, and they were all acting like friends. Even Wendy and Robyn were hugging, saying, I love you. And Mia and Candiace were flashing each other, having a good time. But the car ride home got crazy because Candiace was still pissed that Robyn ambushed her at dinner and played her live at the table through a speaker. So she called her fake and everything like that. So it's still going to get crazy. And there's so much more to come. So let me know what you thought about the episode. What do you think about Mia and Wendy's drama and Mia not apologizing to Wendy? What do you think about Candiace getting ambushed at the dinner table? Okay, do you think she was really talking about everybody or just a select few? And what do you think about Ashley telling Karen that Candiace said that Karen was out around town going out on dates, okay? Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.